Hopefully, at this point, you already know what a ParkJam is, but if you don't, it's basically the most wonderful time of the year where I go out and leave presents and gifts for all the children that have been nice on the river this year, and Dame Jackson goes out and leaves coal for all the children that have been naughty on the river this year. Yeah, okay, it's not the story of Christmas told through kayaking, but it is still a pretty wonderful time of the year. Basically, my two sponsors from the UK, Palm and Pyranha, unite in their love of kayaking and kayakers, and they load up a team bus of their favourite UK team riders, and they send us collectively around all the parks in the UK. And considering we're such a tiny little country, we have a lot of artificial white water parks, and normally a really strong local kayaking community based around those parks. And honestly, I love nothing more than coming back home to the UK, jumping in one of these vans and going and visiting all these places, you know. And I love seeing the regular shredders, how much better the groms have gotten, new faces popping up, and yeah, I just love sessioning in this format with the local kayakers and having a good time, you know. It is my favourite style or format of kayaking, just getting a crew together, picking some lines or moves that you're all working on and just pushing each other to try them and to go further. I love it.
Flatwater freestyle is insane in Ireland.
Honestly, this year's ParkJam went by in a blur for me. There's so many people, there's so much going on, there's so many venues, it was bonkers. But out of that blur, there pops some distinctive, ridiculous, incredible moments along the way, and I'm going to share my top 5 favourite ones right now. Coming in at number 5, the tour mum, Janice. Janice does a lot of the organising for ParkJam behind the scenes, and then she's there every single stop along the way of the tour. And this year especially, she was dealing with a big crew of team riders and a tight schedule to get to the next venue in time. There was one night in particular, after a film premiere in Wales, myself and Sam Clegg were having a good time at the bar. We didn't want to leave, and Janice was like, "We have to drive to Newcastle, get in the van." And I can honestly say that there's not many people that will pull me out of the bar if I don't want to leave, but Janice can. Janice can do that because she does jiu-jitsu and I'm slightly scared of her. Shout out to tour dad as well, Matt Wilkinson, who also does some of the organising for ParkJam on the Pyranha side of things, and is there for a lot of the stops on the tour. Sometimes he tags in Liam J or the rest of the crew from Pyranha, but either way we had an insane turnout of team riders and team managers and people that just work at the companies this year, and it was amazing to have you all along. Next highlight, the Ollie Cooper special. So Rush Sturgis invented this downriver freestyle trick called a Hail Mary, which is basically a front flip off a waterfall in a kayak, which looks just as spectacular as it sounds. But you need a certain waterfall to be able to throw this trick, and it's a hard combination to find. You know, it has to be tall but not too tall, very deep at the lip, hopefully no gnarly landing spot at the bottom, and it's hard to find these ingredients to all come together. I'm still looking. But the Ollie Cooper kid saw this trick and was like, "I want to do that, where can I do this?" And he went to his local park and figured out how to throw it over the blocks. And I remember seeing him come out with this trick and I was like, that was sick, fair play man, I loved it. And then I got there in person and thought about throwing this trick myself, and I was honestly a little bit intimidated. I really thought that I was going to hit the back of my head or the back of my neck or my hands flipping over this block, and you know, for a local kid to come out with a trick on his local park that intimidates me is just magic to me. I love that, and I hope we have more of it throughout the tour. So shout out Ollie Cooper, you're crushing, man. It's so sick. We also had one of our Palm Groms, Jules, hit the trick perfectly first time, but it wasn't on camera. And then he went back and he had to try 6 or 7 times until he got another good one. And that, for me, being someone that works with Palm to spot the next up and coming kayakers, was a really important moment to witness, because that for me is the real mark of someone that's going to be good at kayaking or anything else, you know, because they've got this vision in their head of what they want to do and they won't stop until they get it right. And yeah, that was a really cool moment to see. We randomly scored in between ParkJams this year. It really looked like we were going to get skunked and we were going to have the entire crew, all the cameras, the team vans, everything, but we wouldn't have anywhere to kayak. But Mother Nature provided for us. There was normally enough water to do some ditch bashing in North Wales, or there was enough surf for it to be entertaining out on the coast. And then when we got to Scotland on the final day that we were all together, it rained just enough for the Fallock to come in and to be prime time flows. So that was amazing. Session at waterfall with a huge crew, run the river below, and yeah, it's nice when you don't get skunked, when you've got a whole crew out and about. I love seeing the beginnings of some other crews pop up, especially amongst the Groms, you know, they're like all at the very least kayaking together, and you can sort of spot it on the river. And sometimes they're traveling to different ParkJams together, you know, like one parent was taking their turn to take the kids to this side of the country, and another parent would take their turn to take the kids to this side of the country. And yeah, I appreciate that. Shout out the parents driving the Groms around. I know that's a big task and a big job. But we all appreciate it. It was sick to session with everyone, and yeah man, one of the biggest highlights for me is seeing these crews pop up, and I'm excited to see what they do in the future. I honestly forget what highlight we're on right now, but the wall drop-ins at Teesside were just insane. So Jules led the charge doing a front flip off one of the tallest walls at Teesside, and that set the tone for the rest of the day. Basically, as you were coming down the park, you had to not only look in front of you, to your side, to your back to check on your fellow kayaker, you also had to look up to make sure that no one was dropping in off the wall, and there were just kayakers dropping out of the air all day long. It was crazy. Heidi Walsh took a savage wipeout trying to tomahawk off the side, but she hiked straight back up. and stuck one perfectly, but that one crash was just brutal. Which I guess brings me nicely to my favourite highlight, and that was the carnage. So when you're trying to learn something new in this sport, there's very few times where you get it right the first time. It normally takes a few goes and attempts, and normally somewhere along that way you're going to crash really hard on your way to learning a new trick or a new line or something. And it's always really good for me to see people getting out of their comfort zone, getting trashed, rolling up with a big smile, and then trying again. You know, like that is my favorite way to session with my friends, is to pick a hard challenge, commit to it together, get stuck into it, get trashed, roll up, try again, and eventually one of you hits it and it's just pure magic. It's really important to me that we have events in the UK, especially for the local kayakers and the young groms, that aren't all about competitions or being good at something, you know? Like, you don't have to be a good kayaker to come to ParkJam, you just have to be willing to get stuck in. It's really cool for me at ParkJam to see people really pushing themselves and trying new stuff and you know, really going for it on the water. That, I think, is the magic of ParkJam, is people just rock up with this like attitude to go big in whichever way they can go big, and it's sick. It's amazing to be a part of that. And yeah, cheers for everyone that came out and shredded at this past ParkJam, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.